This is news that you can use. This is news that you can use. Let's go ahead and get this thing crack-a-lacking. I don't know which one is which. Nope, wrong one.
The new Black Wall Street. Do it right, build wealth, build life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. It's on the new Black Wall Street. He's your host.
Hi, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is ERGJ, a certified financial educator and founder of New Black Wall Street. And this is our show, Money and the Power, where we talk about money and we talk about power. We talk about economics and we talk about politics. We talk about the cash flow and we talk about the cash rules. So we're going to take a look at what's been going on in the market. This is news that you can use heading into March 15th, 2017. And we'll take a look at what's been happening in the market, what's going on in the market. Today's episode is brought to you by Wesley Learns to Invest by Prince Dykes, another Black author. This is the very first comic book that teaches kids about investing. That's right, Wesley Learns to Invest. This book here is $20. You can get it through us. Just give us a call, 678-851-2400, 678-851-2400. Man, what a great book to have. Illustrations, got color, mom and dad, Wesley himself, where you can actually teach your kids a little bit about investing just by reading the comic book. You want to get this book. Again, if Wesley Learns to Invest, you can actually order it through us. We do have a distribution deal through Mr. Dykes and his company to be able to promote this book and let you guys know about it, because I'm pretty sure you didn't know about it. This is a book that you must have. If you're a parent or grandparent, you must have this book so you can teach your kids a little bit about investing. The very first comic book for kids to talk about learning how to invest. That's right. What's going on, Nelson? How are you? How I quit my job last night. Great. I understand the integrity. Not a lot of people would have the courage to tell you and put it all out. Great work. Thanks for sharing. Hey, thanks so much, Nelson. Thanks so much for tuning in. Now, today, just kind of give you an idea of what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to do a market recap. We're going to take a look at the day in the market. We're also going to do to go over the Fed rate hike and what that really means for you and I. So thanks so much for tuning in. Now, we do have a couple of things that are upcoming that we want to make you aware of, and that's going to be some of the events that we have going on. So tonight, that's right, tonight we have our Club Millie presentation. Now, what is Club Millie? Well, Club Millie, yes, get the book. Club Millie is a club that we formed. We're going to help 1,000 people save and invest $1,000. And maybe you are going to be one of those one. But I know as many of you guys saying, hey, I need more info. How is this going to happen? Well, we got a free invite for you to come to tonight to learn everything you need to know, ask all the questions you need to ask on exactly how we're going to do that. Now, what is Club Millie going to do? It's going to be 4 phases. We're going to create an investment club that's going to help us to practice cooperative economics. Number 2, we're going to form a real estate division where we're going to go and buy our block back. Number 3, we're going to form a peer-to-peer lending club, which means that we'll become our own bank. And then number 4, we're going to establish venture capitalism firm, which means that we become our own Shark Tank. Now, look at what we can do when we just work together. So if you want to be a part of history, you want to be a part of people that are not just talking about it, but are actually doing it because they have a plan. Well, you want to join Club Millie and you want to find out how you can do that. At the end of the day, it's a $20 decision to change your financial life. And then, as I always say, if you can't make a $20 decision, you are ill prepared to make a $20,000 or a $2 million decision. So that's kind of what that is. Also tonight, on tap tonight, we have our Dow 30 investment session. This is where we're going to actually go through the top 30 most significant stocks in America. This is a great place for you to be if you are a beginner. This is what you can do. You start to say you can learn in a group and you can learn with other people. The Dow 30 investment session, going over the top 30 or most significant stocks in America. What we'll be going over tonight, the companies that we'll be going over tonight: Disney, Intel, Nike, American Express, Home Depot, and Procter & Gamble. So you don't want to miss that. You want to be there as we go through those companies. This is geared towards the beginner, the person that doesn't know anything about investing. So if that's you, you want to make sure that you are in the house, and because there's no excuse. Everybody put in the comments below, no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse, right? Before we could say, hey, we didn't know, we didn't have access. Well, now you know, now you have access. So there's absolutely no excuse why you're not learning how to make your money work for you, other than you just don't want to. And that's your reason. That's not an excuse. Also, we have coming up the Bitcoin investing session on Thursday. That's tomorrow. So if you want to learn about digital currency, you want to learn about this cashless society, well, you want to make sure you sign up for that and learn everything you need to know, or at least get introduced to this new phenomenon called Bitcoin. It is out. It is now trading at higher multiples than gold. So that's where you want to be. You know what we are in society. You know we're in technology. So this is the new currency that's out and that's trading and this causing a lot of people to make a lot of money. So you want to be there. And then last but not least, what I'm most proud of this Saturday, that's right, this Saturday, we have our Kid Best session coming up. That's where we're going to teach your children about money. Now, I got to ask you guys this. How would it feel to you if you were in the 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, and you learned about money? Well, we are going to do it this Saturday. We actually have a kid that's going to teach the kids. One of our star students from last year is going to teach on the cash flow quadrants. You know that story that talks about how money flows from the E to the S to the I to the B to the I. Well, that's from the Rich Dad Poor Dad series, where we have a kid that's going to teach kids about cash flow quadrants. Man, where would you be in life if you learned about cash flow quadrants when you were in the 3rd grade? Where would you be in life financially if you learned about cash flow quadrants when you're in the 5th grade? Well, here's the deal, guys. We are trying to kill the I wish syndrome. What's the I wish syndrome? I wish I had learned about that when I was younger. I wish someone would have told me about that when I was this age. I wish. Well, your children don't have to say I wish if you, as an adult, make the decision to allow your kids to learn about money, and we're providing a platform for you to do that. This right here is my most passionate place, because I understand that it's easier to raise a child than it is to repair broken men. That's right. It's easier to raise a child than it is to repair broken men. I'm probably saying that wrong. Somebody can tell me what the real quote is, but it's something like that. Anyway, well, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Those are our announcements. We provided 4 different opportunities for you. Come join us for free to learn about the Club Millie plan presentation. Join us tonight as well for the Dow 30 investment session, where we're going to go through the 30 most significant stocks that is geared for the beginner. Join us tomorrow for the Bitcoin session to learn about Bitcoin investing. And then allow your kids, please let your kids come on Saturday. They are going to have a good time learning about money. And we're going to go over the cash flow quadrants on Saturday. But hey, you know what we're here for. We're going to take a look at what's going on in the market itself. So let's go ahead and start to look at our market recap and what happened yesterday. This is our market recap from March 14th, 2014. Now, we see right off the top, yesterday was not a good day. We had a little bit of blood in the streets. The Dow Jones was down by 44 points. NASDAQ was down 18 points. And then the S&P 500 was down 8 points. So a down day for the market yesterday. We getting back into some territory. Our emotion in the market, which is our volatility index. There are 2 emotions which drive the market. You got fear and you got greed. Everybody put in the comments below fear and greed. Fear and greed. And so Warren Buffett says this. This is my mentor, Warren Buffett, the 3rd richest man in the world. He says this. He said, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful." Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. Well, right now we are standing at a 51, which means that we are neutral. There is a neutral emotion in the market. So it dropped from 63 on Monday down to 51 today. And we are getting back into my good territory because I like to be in fear. That's right. I like everybody else to be in fear so I can go and buy some stuff up. Why do I do that? Because I understand when everyone else is fearful, that means some stuff is on sale. Everybody say on sale. See, I like to buy stuff that's on sale. I like to go to the thrift store and get me a nice Louis Vuitton bag that's on sale. Matter of fact, I like when stuff is on clearance. And when things are on clearance, that's typically when the rest of the market is in extreme fear. So we need to move this needle on down, move it on back down to fear so I can find me some wonderful opportunities to buy. That's right. I want to find me some good stuff to buy on sale. Yes, that's what I like to see. All right, anyway, that's just me, guys. That's just how I operate. I'm a long-term investor. Don't mind me. Anyway, what else going on here? Yesterday we saw Tesla was up 4%. GoPro is continuing to slide down to down 4% again. They're trading at $7.25 a share. The airline companies were down again. This is like 2 or 3 days in a row. Southwest American Airlines were down. Chevron was down 1.82%. As far as our big gain is Western Union was up 4% yesterday. No other big stories to tell there. And then we had a couple down. Now, our key metrics, oil is right now trading at $48.60 a share. I'm loving that price for oil. $48.60. I'm not a share. $48.60 a barrel. I'm sorry. Gold is trading at $1,201 an ounce, and silver is at $16.92 an ounce. Those are your key metrics as it relates to your commodities. Now, as far as your top performing sectors over the past 3 months, electronic technology has been gained about 12%. So over the past 3 months, if you've been in electronic technology, you've been feeling pretty good as long as you pick some pretty good quality companies in that sector. 12% in 3 months. I mean, most of us are trying to get 2% over a whole year. So you imagine the type of money that people are making in the stock market. Now, what's been lagging behind is energy minerals. So I will say this once again. As a long-term investor, as a person that's looking for stuff that's on sale, I am in the energy mineral sector right now. I'm just hunting. I'm just trying to find some diamonds in the rough. Energy minerals has been down 11% over the past 3 months. So I wasn't in energy minerals while they were going down, but I'm looking to get in energy minerals right now. I'm looking to find me something that's on sale. Woo! Man, oh man, if you guys missed Stock Market 102, oh my goodness, because we talked about a couple of companies that might be on sale, but of course, you would have had to show up to the class to get that information. How many guys show? I know I see one person that was here for Stock Market 102. So he probably already know what I'm talking about, because we talked about a particular company that was on sale and that was managing their capital wisely. That even though the industry was going down, they were still finding ways to make money, to have net profit margins. Oh, it's a wonderful company. Oh my goodness, I just can't wait till they get into I got a buy signal on them right now. I just can't wait. I can't tell y'all that, because that's what happens when you show up. When you show up, you get little nuggets. You get little golden trinkets, but you got to show up. All right. Let's take a look at what's going on today in the market. Can't tell y'all. Sorry. All right. What's this? Oh, I don't want to listen to that. I hate these little pop-ups. All right. Take a look at what's going on in today's market, what we need to know about today. All right, so we're going to talk about the Fed rate. We're going to talk about that in just a second, but all eyes are on the U.S. Federal Reserve, which is widely expected to raise interest rates at the end of its meeting today on Wednesday. It would be the Fed rate's second rate hike since December, and a decision that affects millions of Americans who have a credit card, savings account, investments, or want to buy a home or car. America is still adding jobs at a healthy clip. Unemployment is low, and wage growth continues to gain momentum. Those positive trends clear the way for the Fed to raise rates further. We're going to talk about what this really means in just a second. The rate announcement will come at 2 p.m., followed by a press conference by Chair Janet Yellen. Janet Yellen's always yelling at 2:30 p.m. So this is the big news of the day. This is what we need to know about, need to watch out for, need to understand that federal interest rates could be going up after today. All right, so that's the most important thing that's happening today, because that affects you again. If you have a credit card, savings account, you got some investments, you're looking to buy a home or car, this is the biggest impact is rates, or the federal rates as it relates to interest rates that you'll pay back on any loans that you get. There's a Dutch election going down as well. I know that's right. He said he showed up and got a great tip, man. You just have to show up. All right. Man, that was a good time there, Marvin. You know what happens is we didn't even know. A lot of times we don't know what we're going to talk about. We never know what we're going to find when we start looking. We just start looking. And the next thing you know, we find stuff. That's why I tell people, you just need to show up. Come to these. If you're really serious about investing and you don't want to do it by yourself, you want to get with some other people who are like-minded, who can think, who can research, who can find stuff and help you find stuff. Man, I don't think there's no better opportunity than to do it in a group. That's why we form an investment club, because we get to share ideas. Everybody has come from different walks of life. They have different experiences, and it's just something about collective thought. It just helps. It's just a wonderful thing. All right, the Dutch election. Voters in the Netherlands are heading to polls Wednesday after a campaign dominated by debates over immigration and the country's relationship with the European Union. Investors have remained calm throughout the contentious campaign, largely because the party of far-right candidate Geert Wilders has little chance of gaining a majority in parliament. The difference in yields on Dutch and German government bonds has narrowed this week, suggesting that traders see less risk in the Netherlands. The euro was up 0.3% against the dollar early Wednesday. Now, oil is back in the news. Oil's wild ride. U.S. crude futures have rolled back some of the losses suffered in recent days, adding nearly 2% on Wednesday to trade at $48.60 a barrel. Saudi Arabia, OPEC's biggest producer, said on Tuesday that it is committed and determined to stabilizing the global oil market. A new report from the International Energy Agency shows that the global oil supplies rose by 260,000 barrels in February as both OPEC and non-OPEC producers pumped more crude. Man, this is interesting because what we're talking about is more supply, and which automatically reduces demand because you have way more supply. 260,000 barrels. I don't know if that's a lot or not, but America is doing its best to continue to pump out oil through their fracking, and it looks like there's going to be this big trade war on oil coming up. I'm going to tell you that right now. That's what I see coming down the pike. There's no reason why we keep going to war in the Middle East, and it has a lot to do with oil. The latest data on U.S. crude inventories will be published by the United States Energy Information Administration at 10:30 today. Now, here's the deal. There's a reason why oil is a commodity. That means that it's something that you can't really create. It's something that there's only so much of it in the earth. And Saudi Arabia, or OPEC, has had a big control over oil over the past umpteen years. So America, as America is always trying to do, they want to be the leader of the field in every industry possible. And so they've now started to do what they call fracking, which is creating manufactured oil. And it looks like there's going to be some butt heading going on between Saudi Arabia and America. And again, that's going to lead to another war, and it's going to be a trade war off of oil. Now, what's going to happen? America is going to make it look like it's a war that has something to do with something else, ISIS or something like that. But no, don't believe the hype. It's going to be about oil. Who is going to control the global oil market? Write that down, book it right now. That's what it's going to be about when this war happens. And a war is coming, okay? If you believe that Trump is in office and there's not going to be a war, you are naive. There is a war coming, and it's going to be a trade war masked as a terrorist war. Let me say that very clearly once again. There's going to be a trade war, but it's going to be masked as a terrorist war. So you're going to have another group that's made up, that's fictional, that's going to come down the pike, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, something, they're going to call it something, and it's going to have to do with terrorism. But the real war is a trade war. Everybody put in the comments below trade war. If you don't understand this, I don't know what to tell you, but I'm just trying to let you know that people fight because of resources. They fight because of wealth. They fight because of territory. You can't make more land. You can't make more oil. You can't make more gold. So the fight is over resources. The fight is over territory, right? So they're going to make it seem like, oh, they got this terrorist group and all of this BS that America and the rest of the world continues to buy. But the reality is it's all about resources. All right. I don't know how I got there, but I figured I'd just school y'all today. Market overview. U.S. stock futures were higher on Wednesday. All major European markets advanced in early trading. Asian markets ended the session mostly lower. The Dow Jones Industrial closed at 0.2% on Tuesday, while the S&P 500 and Nasdaq were both shed 0.3%. Gold rallied overnight to climb back to $1,200 per ounce. Mining and energy stocks got a boost from the rebound oil prices Wednesday, with Rio Tinto, BP, Glencore rising about 2%. In London, Chesapeake was up 1.4% in U.S. market trading. So what is this telling you? Again, where did I tell you I was going to be at? In energy minerals, right? Where are some of these companies at? Rio Tinto, BP, Glencore, Chesapeake Energy. They are in energy minerals. So if you want to know what's on sale right now, I'm telling you the sector that you might want to take a look at, and that is energy minerals. They are so far depressed, so far down, they can your margin of safety at this point is almost just insane. They have nowhere else to go but up. They are already down at the bottom of the pit. So you might as well get something that's on sale, that's already taking the losses, and then you can find some stuff that have nowhere to go but up. What goes down must come up. We're going to continue to use oil. We're going to continue to use coal. We're going to continue to use steel. We're going to continue to use these mining and energy. We're going to mine for gold and silver and stuff like that, mine for oil, and we're going to continue to use energy. So because those commodities are not going anywhere, then at some point they're going to become more valuable. Would you not agree? So I'm just trying to tell you where you might want to look. If you're looking for some stuff on sale, they tell us exactly where to look. And you got 4 companies here that they're putting the news for you to say, hey, take a look at Rio, BP. You might want to write this down. GLC, let me just put it in there for you. Let me put it in there for you because maybe it's going to help you a little bit. Let me put it in there for you. BP, Rio, DL, what is that? I don't even know what that one is. Glencore, I don't even, GLCNF, GLCNF, and what's the other one? Chesapeake. Yeah, CHCGX. CHCGX. All right. Right, there you go. All right. Now, just something you might want to add to your market, your watch list. You know, I'm not telling you go invest in those things. I'm just saying that's the sector that's been depressed and has nowhere to go but up. Now, as far as earnings and economics are concerned today, Guess and Oracle are set to release earnings after the close. So Guess, which is a retail, I expect them to go down, down, down. Guess is probably going out of business soon. I don't know. Does anybody wear Guess anymore? I mean, good Lord, they still in business? I haven't seen a Guess watch, a Guess shirt, no Guess jeans in a long time. I'm still guessing, where's Guess? And Oracle is set to release earnings after the close. Bureau of Labor Statistics will release its Friday inflation report at 8:30 a.m. on Wednesday. And then again, the big things today is going to be a Fed is expected to announce a rate hike. A Fed is expected to announce a rate hike. The Fed is expected to raise they're expected to have a rate hike. Okay, now let's talk about what that means. All right, here's 4 things you need to know about the rate hike. All right, Fed rate hike is expected to end at the end of the day is widely watched meeting Wednesday. It will be the Fed's second rate hike since December and a sign that the central bank's leaders are moving interest rates up at a faster pace this year. It's really time to move. Here are 4 things you need to know about the Wednesday announcement at 2 p.m. today. Set your clocks for 2 p.m. today. Number 1, a rate hike reflects a healthier economy. America is still adding jobs at a healthy clip. Unemployment is low and wage growth continues to gain momentum. Those positive trends clear the way for the Fed to raise rates further. The Fed put interest rate at 0% in 2008 to help the collapsed housing market recover during the Great Recession. But America is no longer in crisis mode, and it can weather higher interest rates. The Fed raised rates once in 2015 and 2016, but this year, its leaders project they'll increase rates at least 3 times. Still, rates are very low historically. So again, this is the same principle, right, of buy low, sell high. So rates were extremely low, got down to 0%. That was a great time for you and I to buy, but many of us were not in position to buy. This is why we have Club Millie. We're teaching people to put themselves in position to capitalize on opportunities. Let me ask you guys this. How many of you guys would have loved to have bought real estate at 0% interest? Right? How many of you guys would have loved to be able to get those loans at 0%, buy those depressed properties, buy your block back at 0% interest, where basically you got an interest-free loan, right, for a property that you wanted. Right? That's what basically happened during the Great Recession. Now, many of us weren't in position to buy or to afford or to qualify for a loan for that real estate. I don't care whether it's commercial or residential. We weren't in position, right? But it happened, right? So what we're saying is, hey, we need to learn from the past and make sure that we are always put ourselves in position to capitalize on opportunity. So that's why we have Club Millie, because we are starting to understand that, okay, well, maybe individually I won't be in position, but collectively we will be in position to capitalize. Everybody put in the comments below, capitalize. Capitalize on opportunity. We are in a capitalistic society. And so as a capitalist, you always need to be in a position to capitalize. And in order to capitalize, you must have capital. Let me say that again. We are in a capitalistic society. which means that in order to actually move forward in this society, you need to be able to capitalize. In order for you to be able to capitalize on opportunity, you need capital. And many of us are broke. We don't have capital. So we can't capitalize on opportunities so that we can actually move the needle in this capitalistic society. Well, we're going to fix that with Club Millie, right? We're going to be in a position with our capital that gives us leverage. That leverage gives us power. That power is used to capitalize on opportunity in this capitalistic society. Does that make sense? Are you starting to see the picture now? Are you starting to get it now? Woo! All right. Number two, it's all about the dots. Almost all investors are expecting, and Marvin said, he said bank stocks, all investors are expecting a rate hike Wednesday. The real newsmaker for financial markets will be the Fed's dot plot. It's a chart that effectively shows how many times Fed leaders think they'll raise rates this year and in upcoming years. The last dot plot came out in December, and a new one publishes on Wednesday. Janet Yellen, once again, Federal Chair Janet Yellen holds a press conference Wednesday. While she'll certainly discuss the economy and the Fed's decision on interest rates, she'll likely be asked President Trump's plan to dismantle Dodd-Frank, the financial regulation reform the Fed reinforces. Dodd-Frank was created after the financial crisis to prevent risky behavior by Wall Street banks, but Trump sees it as a burdensome regulation and plans to repeal much of it. Yellen has already pushed back against Trump's plan to get rid of Dodd-Frank. Look for more staunch defense of Dodd-Frank on Wednesday. At the beginning of the end for the Yellen Fed. So by April, 3 key governor positions at the Fed will be open. Wow. Yellen's term ends in January, and the Fed's number 2, Stanley Fischer's, ends in June of 2018. So we're starting to see a changeover in the Federal Reserve. All positions must be appointed by Trump. I don't like that. Who was heavily critical of Yellen during the campaign. He'll be able to quickly reshape the Fed's leadership in the coming months. Many of Yellen's colleagues have served with her since the Great Recession or soon after it ended in 2009. President Trump's Treasury Secretary, Stephen Mnuchin, has eased the administration's tone on the Fed since taking office. Still, it's unclear if Trump will reappoint Yellen for another term. He's not going to reappoint her. Now, this is very interesting because essentially, when a new president comes in, right, he basically brings in all his boys, all his homies to take over all these positions. And it seems like at the same time, he's able to appoint all his homies for this Federal Reserve positions. So all of this government stuff is happening with turnover at the same time from the president to judges, right, to the Federal Reserve. All this turnover is happening at the same time, and it all comes down to Trump and his appointments, who he wants to hire at the end of the day to be in these positions. Now, why am I saying this? Well, because we're talking about money and power. This is power. When you can have you and your whole crew, all your homies, all your boys to be in offices or positions to run the country, that's a problem that we allow as Americans. He can appoint. We don't elect. He appoints. You understand the difference? Supposedly, we elected Trump. Supposedly, I don't believe that we did. He got selected, but let's just say for the sake of the show, he was elected. But all of the positions that actually run the country, right? The judges, the Federal Reserve, the cabinet, they're not elected. They are appointed. Now, how convoluted is that? Why don't just like a mayor or governor or anybody else, why doesn't the cabinet, why doesn't the people who actually make the decisions, the people who actually run the country, why do they not need to be elected? We have a serious problem. They can be appointed, not elected. That is asinine. That's asinine. That is insane when you think about it. So Trump has the power, because he was selected or elected, however you look at it, to appoint his boys, his people to be in office to run the country. That's how it works, people. That's why we must talk more about politics, because some of these structures, some of this infrastructure, we could actually fight back if we knew what was really going on. If enough people were interested in politics and started reading this stuff and started thinking about this stuff, then we could actually go to war against it. Because not enough people are interested in it. We continue to be subjective or subject or subjects or slaves to the policies because we're not interested in learning the policies themselves. That's why I do this show. If you just think about that for a second, say, okay, we had to elect Trump, but Trump gets to appoint whoever he wants. Something wrong with that. Something is very wrong with that. All right, guys, that's what we talked about, the federal rate hike. That's why we do this show, man. It's money and the power, right? It's where we're actually going to talk about money, which is going to be your cash flow. It's going to be economics, right? And we're going to talk about power, which is politics. And basically what that is this, is that money is the cash flow. Everybody put cash flow in the comments below. Money is the cash flow. Politics is the cash rule. So you have the cash flow, and then you have the legislation over how the cash does flow, how the rules for which it will flow. So you got cash flow and you got cash rules. And what I'm saying is, as people of this great nation, as citizens of this great nation, supposedly, we should be paying more attention and having more conversations about cash flow and cash rules, because we are in a capitalistic society, and that's really all this society is about: money and power. Well, guys, ERGJ, certified financial educator, founder of the New Black Wall Street. And again, today's episode has been brought to you by Wesley Learns to Invest. That's going to be a comic book for kids made by author Prince Dykes to teach your children about money, teach your children about investing. Now, it's a great book. You want to have this in your library, and you want to go ahead and get that and order that today. Get this book for your kids, okay? Look at this. It's got illustrations. It's got, you know, it's pretty cool, man. It's a pretty cool book, man. How many guys wish you would have had a book like this that was in your library when you were a kid? Get this for your kids. It's $20. You can order it today. Give us a call, 678-851-2400. Send us a message via Facebook, and we will and we'll get this book out to you. Wesley Learns to Invest, Black author Prince Dykes. All right, guys. Well, I hope you learned something today. This is Money in the Power edition on 3/15/2017 and heading to Wednesday. Remember, 2 o'clock. That's where you want to be. You want to understand what's going on with Janet Yellen, what she's going to be talking about. Those are things that you should tune into. When the Federal Reserve chairperson has a speech, that's what we should listen to. And we need to hear what she's saying and interpret it. Now, I know many of us going to be at work, but let's listen to the recap. Let's listen to the replay of something so we can listen to the horse's mouth itself, and we can make the necessary adjustments. Well, guys, just remember this, man. You got the power, and you can actually have the money. Just start to learn more about how it operates, the cash flow and the cash rules. Well, guys, remember this. It takes a village, and it starts with us. Let's build wealth. Let's build health. Let's build community as we climb together. Have a great day.
The New Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow.